boys.
Well, hello everybody. I'd love to tell you everything was smooth and easy behind the scenes, but it wasn't. And it
Not at
came
all.
down to the wire. Not at all. And not just because of Zaxx. Before we get into that, I want to give a big thank you to good friend of my channel, good friend of a lot of people, OBG70 Mike. It's great to have you back on the show, Mike. You and I, we were on your astronomy channel last night, and you were showing me just how ignorant I am of all things astronomical.
No, that's not true. That's not true. You were on, yes, but there was no ignorance. You were telling me quite a few things I didn't even know. So I'm very happy that you
Aliens.
stopped by. Yeah.
Aliens, Bigfoot.
We were looking for the Borg cube in there. We didn't find it though.
You know, Uranus. You know, I'm always good for those jokes. Speaking of Uranus, how's it going? How's it going, Zaxx?
Good. Doing great. Yeah, I'm slowly getting my system set up here as we go live. So that's perfect timing.
Yeah, you will notice some conspicuous absences. First of all, Purple Valkyrie is in the United States. She arrived safely this morning and is in her hotel. I will be seeing her probably along with Max tomorrow. So hail to you, Purple Valkyrie. We hope you're getting sleep because she did a long flight. Also, Maxfield Von Priestley may or may not be able to join us. He's running a little late with his own plans, getting ready for getting on a flight tomorrow to come to Dallas as well. I have it kind of easy. I just have to get up probably around 6 or 7 and drive to Dallas from where I am. So I'm really looking forward to that. It's always wild to meet people that you only know screen names for, or maybe you've seen some dude like me or Zaxx or Mike or whoever on the screen, and then you know, should I go talk to him? Should I not go talk to him? And please, if you're going to Dallas, if you see this, you know, moderately not entirely unattractive, very tall man with long hair. That's Drunk 3PO. No, it's me. Come up and say hey to me. I want to talk to you. We all do. And we're just normal people. So hail to everybody in chat. Look who we've got going on. We have Lyle Hammock. Hail to you, brother. Great to see you. We have Jan Hammer, Brandon the anime guy, another channel member, Paul Wolfley. You guys are absolutely amazing. Of course, the one and the only Punk Waddle, Briansgate, Nerdscape, Rosie Gamgee. She was so awesome this morning when I premiered that video on Lord of the Rings. Always entertaining. Great to see you, Rosie. Nosferatu, the vampire, says he doesn't really like the deepfakes, but okay. And Godzillionaire says hail, along with Silverlock. A Troubled Green, Alasia, who thought she might be able to come on the show, but she still can't decide what shoes she's gonna pack, and this is it's been going on for a couple hours, guys. The one and only
days, right? I think a couple days.
I didn't want to say that to everybody,
I did.
but yes, okay, yeah. Okay. And of course, Jaden Hamilton is in the house. The one and only Silverlock. Hail to you, brother. Lyle Hammock, the Thad that shouldn't be. Look at all these beautiful people, and then of course J M2021 or M2021. So, guys, this is going to be a super chill stream. It's great that you all showed up. There's 27 of you. I've got a couple topics that I wanted to get into that a couple of them honestly blew my mind. What about, before we get into that, Mike, did you read or see anything today in entertainment that kind of like completely blew you out of the water, man? Or have you been heads down doing other stuff?
Yeah, I have to confess, I've been so busy today not doing anything on the computer. I've been nonstop streaming all the weekend and then into yesterday. So today I promised my wife I would actually do work around the house.
Oh, okay.
So I was mid cleaning the garage when you pinged me and said, "Could you come on?" I was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
okay." I have to
You're good.
throw boxes, over,
Yeah.
and just
Yeah.
I jumped
No.
on. Any chance I
glad-
could come on, it was always
Yeah.
fun to be here. So
We're glad to have you, Zaxx. Spider-Man: No Way Home.
Yeah, they're doing a
wanna run
re-release, huh?
I want to ask you about this because here's the thing. Do we think they're doing this re-release of No Way Home? Because this movie just did come out and it did make a lot of money.
mhm.
But do you think Sony is putting this movie out because they have no faith in any other property that they could possibly put out? Or are they just being greedy? Like,
I
and
think-
those of you in chat, have you guys seen this? I'm like, really?
Yeah, it's a cash grab for sure, and they have to make the money they lost on Morbius back.
Oh God, good luck with that. You're gonna have to re-release this thing a couple of times.
Yeah,
But yeah, Sony announced it's not a new film. They're just putting extra scenes in it. They're calling it Spider-Man No Way Home, the more fun stuff version. It will be out in Labor Day weekend here in the United States. And I don't know. Did anybody ask for this? Did anybody ever foresee this? That has anybody ever seen a studio within the same calendar year re-release essentially the same movie with essentially an extended cut in the theaters?
I
don't
haven't.
understand. Yeah, I mean it's successful. It made them money, so they're going to go back to that well. They have nothing else to show or give. So, I mean, it's probably going to work. They are going to make money off of it, and money is money. Money.
Zaxx, what are they up against right now? What other
There you go.
releases? Top Gun,
Good
which is
question.
now heading down a little bit because it's been
Yeah.
out for a while.
Yeah.
You got what is it?
Well, we've got
Help me out here.
Marvel. We've got a slate of Marvel stuff coming out. We have Marvel. We've got Thor.
Doctor Strange comes out on Disney Plus, I think, on the 22nd or 24th or something.
Yeah, but this is re-releasing to the big screen, like in
Yeah.
theater. And and that's what's kind of blowing my mind. I mean, obviously, this movie is sitting at $1.8 billion, and they're trying to push it to the $2 billion mark. And again, Spider-Man: No Way Home, it made that money without being released in China. So I don't know. I just thought this was really weird. Do we think we're going to see this more in the future where studios maybe release a theatrical cut, and then if the movie does well, they'll double down and then try and get you to see the extended versions in the theater? I mean, I don't know.
I hope not. I hope not. I think this is just a kind of a test cash grab to see. They will make more money off of this. It's a guarantee. They've already made their money back plus more. I think they want to hit that 2 billion mark if they can, and this is a way to do that. And they're just going to drag this thing out. And you're right. There's no competition right now.
No.
But people are going back to the theaters again, even more so than they were for Spider-Man. So, like, it's a smart
Maybe that's part of it.
business move,
Yeah.
really.
That's true. I hadn't thought about that. That
Yeah.
people were afraid to leave their
Yeah.
house. We have a $2 super chat from the one and only Taker610 for $2. Hail, brother. Thank you. Says Spider-Man No Way Home, the Snyder Cut. Oh, wait. I would go see the Snyder Cut in the theaters. If they put the Snyder Cut in the theaters, like in IMAX, I would go see that. I really would. Mike, what about you? What would you go see the Justice League Zack Snyder Cut in the theaters if it was IMAX?
Possibly. It's been so long since I've done an IMAX that I'm hungry for that experience again. So I think I would be convinced to go see it. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't worry. In addition to Spider-Man doing a major cash grab, we also have the one, the only, one of the most cursed studios, I think, ever through self-inflicted wounds, of course, Warner Brothers. Well, we all know what's going on with good old Ezra Miller. He's still on the run with Youngling, if memory serves, but I'm sure the Flash movie is going to be just fine. Why I brought that up is Aquaman 2 is apparently getting Michael Keaton Batman.
What?
Where did this come from? This is why I'm talking about this. Let's say this again.
Oh my God.
The DCEU, under the new management at Warner Brothers, has apparently not. Apparently, they've seen what Amber Heard, what it's done to the movie. They're not ignorant of how many millions of signatures are on that
Right.
petition to have her removed. What's the solution? Put Michael Keaton's Batman in. Then all you bigots and men who don't believe all women will come to see the movie anyway. It's kind of genius in an evil way if you think about it. But yeah, Aquaman 2 is apparently now going to be linked to the still in production Flash movie, which has a star who is apparently a druggy fugitive who's running around with teenage girls. It's a weird world we live in. I'm going to kick this one to you, Zaxx. What do you think about this? Do you think it's a winning approach for Warner Brothers?
I'm curious to know, like, when Michael Keaton became the savior for franchises. Like, what has he done? Except for Birdman was good. Like, that's fine.
He was.
He was a good Batman in 1989, and yet we can't get Henry Cavill back in the Superman suit. Like,
I know.
What are we doing?
You know who would save the Aquaman 2 movie? Henry Cavill's Superman.
Yeah.
Ben Affleck's Batman.
Yeah.
I can throw out a couple other characters from the DCEU, that would be heroes that maybe we haven't seen. And if they kept them close to the source material, they could probably crush it with Aquaman 2. And they could have Bed Pooper over there still in the production and people will go see it. I don't know. Mike, did you go see Aquaman? Have you been following the Amber Johnny trial?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a complete mess. I have a question for you guys about this, though. Is the Michael Keaton Batman a different timeline or different universe than the Ben Affleck Batman? Is that what they're doing? Is they're splitting it off and saying, now we're doing the same thing with the different Spider-Mans and all that? Okay.
Yeah,
but I'm with Rosie Gamgee there. I am a big Michael Keaton fan. So whatever Amber Heard is subtracting from my desire to see the movie, Michael Keaton is a person that would add on the other side of the scale.
Yeah.
So it is a smart thing to do. We can't get rid of her. We've already paid her. We might as well put her in the movie for continuity. But let's add a reason for people to actually go see it. And Michael Keaton is a good idea, is a good decision.
Yeah,
I still won't see it. I still won't see it.
Yeah. Well, that's really what it comes down to. I mean, there are big changes in store for Aquaman 2, which includes the addition of Michael Keaton Batman as part of what appears to be a DC EU reboot. And we're going to get more Amber Heard as Mira, you bigots. Just so we're clear, the info comes via what is said to be the latest test screenings for Aquaman 2, which probably means that Aquaman 2 and the Flash movie with On the Run fugitive Ezra Miller, his Flash film, that they're going to flip release dates, which is fascinating if you think about it. The Flash is set to be released after Aquaman 2 now. But since Michael Keaton is said to debut in The Flash, that must mean that The Flash has to get released before Aquaman 2. This is so complicated. This is so entirely Warner Brothers. As things stand right now, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom will be released on March 17th of 2023, and The Flash is set to be released June of next year. This is kind of insane, guys. Why do we think there are such long lead times on movies that have been in the can this long? I mean, am I overstating it to look at these and go, they don't have a lot of faith in them? Is Warner Brothers just that incompetent, or is there something going on with this?
I think nobody wanted this Flash movie from the very beginning. He's not a good actor for Flash. He wasn't a good part of the Justice League movies either cuts to me, although he was better in the Snyder cut, I think. But either way, I wasn't a fan of his. So nobody really wanted this movie. It's been shoved down our throat like Ezra Miller on A Bad Date.
Yeah.
And
with roofies. It's roofie style. It's what's his name? The guy who just got indicted. He was in the West Wing. Never mind. You know who I'm talking about. Yeah. Nobody does.
But
myself.
But yeah, and then Aquaman was I liked Aquaman the first one. It was fine, and she's fine. She's not the selling feature of that movie. They could easily cut her, most of her out, or replace her, reshoot her. But I don't know why this is taking so long to release, but I think they've spent so much money on Flash They got to find a way now to entice people to go and see it, and it's just getting harder and harder to do that. And I like Michael Keaton,
I
don't get me
agree.
wrong, but he's
I
not
agree.
he's not a cure-all for $1 billion movie.
No, and Psycho Dwarf 9 says, salty, I smell reshoots. Yeah. You know why? I mean, this Flash movie has been done for quite a while. Why would you let all that sunk cost sit on the shelf? Why wouldn't you put it out? Why wouldn't it be your Labor Day blockbuster or your Thanksgiving blockbuster? Why wouldn't you want to go up against Thor, 4 or whatever nonsense that's remaining in Marvel phase, the MCU, whatever we're going to call it. I'm out on Marvel, just like I'm out on Star Wars. But it is kind of crazy, you guys. And I thought I was the only one that didn't hear about this. I saw this morning, but yeah, Michael Keaton showed up twice, and there was a cut that was shown at the test screening. And what they're saying is Michael Keaton's older Batman is going to replace Ben Affleck in the DCEU, which sounds like, again, vintage Warner Brothers. Now, where this all stems from, and I do believe this, The Flash will be the hard reboot of the DCEU. Obviously, Zaslav, the new CEO of Warner Brothers, has made no secret that he wants to make the cheddar. He just wants that money to wants to make it rain. In this case, I don't know, man.
Can I ask a question about possibilities here? When this was all conceived, wasn't it a time when they could pretty much just print money? It was anything they would throw at the screen would do very well. And then during that intervening time, they started having movies bomb. And so they had to kind of detour from where they were headed originally. And then that's the reshoots and stuff.
Yeah, I think a lot of it, Mike, is that it's what happens in corporate America, where somebody has an idea and it's implausible. It costs too much money. They don't have enough people to do it. It's impossible in the timeline they're given, and everybody says, okay, because they're the boss. And I think this is just one of those cases where people saw what happened with Aquaman. I think this thing was probably greenlit before the koofy woofy nonsense that went on for years. And, they couldn't back out of it because of sunk costs, and now here they are. And, no one, I think, was anticipating Amber to poop the bed.
And you think that they were approving all these things possibly because just everything was doing well?
Well, look at what they did. Look at what the old CEO and the old, I would say, the bishops of the Vatican of Warner Brothers did. They actively sabotaged Zack Snyder's vision. Now, think what you will about him. I'm not the biggest Zack Snyder fan. I make no secret of that. I don't think he's a savior. I think he's made some crap movies. However, the Justice League and his cut of it, I think, was an incredibly long movie, but an incredibly good movie. I would like to see more of those characters in that universe, especially those scenes at the end with Batman in an post-apocalyptic world partnered with the Joker.
Yeah, that was really
who the
cool.
hell wouldn't want to see that?
Yes.
No disrespect to Michael Keaton. He was my Batman. Like I said, I was working in a movie theater when that movie came out, and everybody lost their minds. Just lost their minds and kept coming to this movie. It was a lot, and worked a lot of hours, popped a lot of popcorn, and it's a great movie. Great soundtrack.
Yeah, I agree.
It has it aged well? That would be a discussion for a show sometime, because that Prince soundtrack is so integral into the Tim Burton, Michael Keaton Batman. It's almost kind of hard to listen to what at the time was a early 90s, R&B, corporate R&B sound. Although Prince was a very talented man, and God rest his soul, and he always will be. It was a hell of a moment of time, with the Purple Monarch and Batman. But yeah, I does it really surprise anybody that they just doubled down? And the other part of it is there's never any consequences for making these decisions. They just move on to another studio. They get a golden parachute. Nobody's ever accountable. And of course, the customer is always wrong when we disagree with that. I do have some good news, though. This article I saw this today from The Hollywood Reporter, says Netflix is revealing another first look at Stranger Things Season 4 Volume 2. Now, we got 6 new stills from the season's split parts. Zaxx, you like Stranger Things. I like Stranger Things. Mike, have you seen Stranger
I
Things
have.
season 4? You did.
I have.
Cool.
Yeah. Enjoyed it quite a bit.
What do you think?
I liked it quite a bit. Yeah, it was really good. The villain was
nice.
the villain had backstory. It was fantastic. Yeah.
And it left you on a cliffhanger.
Sure
part
did.
1 was a real cliffhanger. So,
but I will say that the plot line that I was following more carefully and I liked more was the guy that was over in Russia in the prison. That whole plot line, I really liked that story quite a bit, and I was really wondering if he's ever going to escape from there and all that kind of stuff.
Hopper.
It was Hopper, right? Yeah. So that was the storyline I think I was most invested in, but the rest of it was, of course, almost as good. I liked all of it.
So,
but he's the one I'm looking forward to finding out in part 2. What happens?
So, Volume 2, or Part 2 of Season 4, comes out July 1st, and it will span nearly 4 hours. That is 408. Wait. So, there's going to be a 1 hour and 25-minute episode, and the finale will come in at 2 hours and 20 minutes. So, this comes after 7 episodes that were an hour and a half plus in the first part, and it certainly didn't feel that way. But what I wanted to look at were some of the new still images that we're getting and from the show. And boy, I hate pop-ups. But yeah, of course, we're seeing Robin Buckley, Joe Keery, and Steve Harrington, and of course, Joseph Quinn as Eddie Munson. I thought he was a fantastic new character to add for the season. I knew dudes like that who were kind of intimidating, that really were possessive of playing Dungeons and Dragons. We got another scene of Max and Lucas in the spooky house. And then, of course, the stoner pizza van, homage to Fast Times at Ridgemont High, with Will and Noah in there. So, or Will and then, of course, like you talked about, back in Russia, the last that we saw of Hopper and Joyce was that they were reunited, but they seemed to be locked into some type of, I don't know, menagerie of bizarre things that might have come from the upside down world. So, and of course, there we go. 11, Dr. Brenner. And there it is. Those are our new stills for part 2. I'm actually really looking forward to how they're going to wrap this up. I mean, I said it before. I think they're going to kill a main character off in this. I really am. Yeah, go ahead and do that, Zaxx. I really do think that that they're going to kill off a main character. I don't know which one it's going to be. I have the feeling it's going to be, Dustin. I don't want it to be Dustin. Dustin's my favorite character. As a matter of fact, I like Dustin so much, I almost bought I'm ashamed to say this, a Dustin bobblehead. And I don't buy bobbleheads. I have one bobblehead. It's Gina Carano. That's it. That's what I got over there. It's over there. It's somewhere over there. I got a Gina Carano bobblehead, and I was like, man, I could get a Dustin bobblehead, but that's how much I like Dustin. But I think they're going to kill Dustin, which I think would really piss off the fandom, because I've seen that Dustin has a fantastic singing voice and actually wants to go onto Broadway and move beyond the show, which I guess makes sense, but selfishly, I don't like that. What do you think? What's your fan theories for part 2, Zaxx? What do you think? Where do you think they're going to go with this? If they're going to go anywhere. Before you do that, let me shout out William 101. Hail, brother! It's great to see you. Thanks for being here. Thanks to all my channel members.
I think they're gonna kill off a main character. I don't know. I didn't know the Dustin stuff. I didn't know he was a singer. They teased. Well, are we doing spoiler stuff?
Yeah, at this point, spoilers, guys. I mean, we've been on several shows and we've talked about them already. Please go watch Stranger Things season 4.
Yeah, and this is evidence to me that, like, if you put out a good product, people will come back to it, even if they didn't like it before, even if it wasn't a perfect show the last time around. Because I didn't like the other seasons, season 2 and season 3 as much, but season 4 is great. And I think because they've teased Max already and Nancy already, I don't think they'll go back to them. So Dustin could be a good pick to see who gets the axe.
Yeah, Steve Prophet. I know, right? I've heard some scuttlebutt, some people who have seen to say those on the screen. We will see. I've heard that part 2 is pretty intense, and yeah, I want to enjoy it just like everybody else. And the last thing I would ever do is give anybody bad information or good information that would ruin a show. So, yeah, yeah. I mean, it's been a weird couple of weeks, guys, and we had all those other headlines, and in between trying to pack and obviously working with other people on their shows. I rolled up today and I wasn't entirely sure if we were going to get anybody to work with us. And I saw the most ridiculous headlines I think I've seen in a while. And this is one of them.
Yeah.
And
I thought it was a joke.
I'm still not convinced of this. However, here's the one reason I think they would actually do this. This movie stuck it to Hollywood in a big way, and it embarrassed them. And if we remember what the mainstream media said about this, it's just for incels. People are going to go pew 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 when you go and watch it. Don't go see this movie. There was a concerted effort to destroy this movie's box office. Well, we all know what happened. It was $1 billion later on a very cheap movie to make. To me, making Joker 2 would be like making a sequel to The Taxi Driver with Robert De Niro. Like, first of all, why would you do it? Second of all, how would you do it? And third of all, who the hell would want to see it? What do you guys think about that? Zaxx, what do you think?
I think that this must be, I really did think it was like a prank. And now I think it must be just an attention thing. I can't believe they're gonna make this movie, and how they're gonna make it a musical. I don't know. Why don't they just bring back Michael Keaton? Put him in it. It'll be fine.
Just do the same thing they did with Cats.
Yeah.
That worked out perfectly. Of course, let's do this with the Joker.
Purple
let's
Valkyrie's
fundamentally change. Oh, hey, what's up, Purple? Yeah, I was chatting with her today. We are so glad you are safe. Yes, folks, she is in the great state of Texas. She is here in America, and we are all going to be hanging out tomorrow. It's great to see you. Yeah. No, Lady Gaga is going to be Harley. Although at this point, with the games they play with pronouns, let's be honest, does anybody?
Yeah.
Mike, when you heard this, did this inspire you to immediately pre-buy tickets to Joker 2 because it's a musical with Lady Gaga?
Absolutely. But before I did that, I had to ask the question: is this going to theaters? Is this going to be in a like a stage production? What is this? Because
it's a movie.
It's a movie. I'm trying to scroll on the screen and realize that you're on yours. Yeah. Right. So I guess I'll order the tickets in advance. I'll ask Flaccid if he wants to go with me, and we'll go have a great time.
It's funny that you say that, because the first time I saw this was Flaccid Phoenix's thumbnail for his video, and I thought he was either trolling or was clickbait. And so I'm like, okay, well, whatever. And then actually the news is covering this, so it's a real story, and I'm a bit taken aback by the whole thing, really.
I really do think this is Hollywood essentially trying to debase and embarrass and destroy and deconstruct something that made them look bad. That's really what I believe this is. And I can't think of a bigger globalist tool and shill than Lady Gaga. She said she reads all the stuff on all the press releases for all the guys, for everything, whether it be about the weather or whatever, Me Too. Absolutely. There's your spokes lady. I can't think of anybody better to put into a movie to absolutely destroy it than her. Am I being unfair?
No, you're not being unfair. Not at all. But I'm wondering when we're going to see a Top Gun musical now.
Oh, God.
Oh, well, honestly, guys, we are getting a Game of Thrones musical. I know that's going on Broadway probably sometime next year. Because George R.R. Martin, I think we should all just, continue to worship the ground he rocks on, especially after he made fun of us because we didn't like the fact he didn't finish his book. And also that we're questioning Star Wars, Star Trek, and of course, Lord of the Rings. It's kind of exhausting, isn't it? I mean, am I the only one that thinks so much of this stuff is so obvious that I'm actually insulted? I'm actually insulted they're not trying harder to fool me.
Right.
with what they're doing. I mean, they really act like we're just a bunch of, cannibals who live in flyover country, and we don't have electricity or
Right.
running water, and they're like, they're like from the future. It's like an H.G. Wells novel where only these enlightened leftists on either coast can come in and save us from ourselves. And look at what they did to Kenobi. I mean, look at what they're doing with the Rings of Power. Mike, what do you think about that? I mean, you and I don't agree on everything, and that's fine, but where are you at with this marketing of approach of pre-calling your
Right.
fandom bigots and racists,
Well, I mean, at least they're self-aware and they know what they're doing. And I've talked to you about this before. It is all in their playbook. They actually have I don't have a prop here. Oh, yes, I do. They have a book, and in the book is like, how do we get it past people, or how do we do this? And they're just checking boxes off as they go through. And this is, if they know you're going to say something, they know it ahead of time, and they just go, we got to get out in front of it, and we got to call everybody racists and bigots and phobes and all these things to try to minimize the backlash. And unfortunately, in today's internet and YouTube and the streamers like yourself, you're on it. You're on top of it. You fight back. You push hard. Word spreads. And
we had I mean,
yeah.
I'm lucky to get to work with you and with Zaxx, and of course, Purple Valkyrie and Max and a whole bunch of other
How to Eat
people.
Purple.
And it's
mostly me.
This coming to YouTube was one of the things that kept me sane. And it was after The Last Jedi. And I mean, we all have our stories as to when our fandom broke for us. I mean, Doctor Who has it with The Timeless Child. I think for Star Trek, because I couldn't make it 5 minutes into watching Mikey Spock. Like, I've tried not to talk about it a lot, but it just looks like utter trash. I've seen 5 minutes of Picard, and that's not my Jean-Luc Picard.
Right.
And it's like, I think a lot of us are really deeply frustrated by the fact that we have money. You have our fandom. We will buy literally everything if you just make an okay science fiction show. If you just made a pretty okay Lord of the Rings that stuck true to the source material, didn't do crazy things, didn't invent 90% new characters, and didn't fill it with ideology. The same thing with the Wheel of Time. If it would have just been close, and if the characters would have acted and looked at and sound like the book characters, we could have been forgiving. I mean, I'm the kind of person who enjoys the Sword of Shannara, not necessarily for the story, if you know what I mean.
I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
Can I get political for a minute? I know we don't really want to do that, but just a little bit. Because
all right, go ahead.
Go ahead. It's been talked about in the chat so far tonight. Nosferatu brought it up, and are they running out of distractions for us here? Because like the economy's bad, gas is high, people like food storage is being burned down, people are losing their jobs, and it's like now they're desperate for stuff, and it's the Joker, and it's going to be a musical, and they have no more ideas to get us to talk about it anymore, because like even calling us names anymore isn't really working. So people are going to start paying attention to what's happening around them.
But I mean, do you think that maybe all of the destruction of the things that are distraction was time to maybe coincide with what's happening now? Could that be? Could Disney have destroyed so many things so that a lot of us of a certain age and generation just absolutely frustrated? We have nowhere to turn. And now there maybe all these economic things maybe our time to happen at the same time. And I don't do this on my show.
No, I didn't want to go there, but like,
but Zaxx, we've reached the point where you tell me what this is, because it sure as hell looks like that other thing, Well,
let me ask you guys this. This is not really political. This is about something else. But when they attack you, or they do the pre-attack call, if you don't like this because you're this or that, does that make you soften your view or harden down a little bit? Do you not pull back and say, nope, I'm putting more walls up, you're not getting through these walls? Because I don't know anyone who is called a racist because they think that Riva is a good character, and they go, oh, you know what? They might have something there. Maybe I should reform my opinion. I don't know anyone who's done that. If anything, you're like, well, never mind. I'm going to go even harder on this character.
Zaxx, what's your take on that? You're a much nicer person in Canadian than I am. So what do you think about that?
I think that it would be too easy to make a good Kenobi show that we would all enjoy and then not talk about the rest of the week. And so I think it's it's easier, and maybe it meets their needs more to make a obviously bad show and then call us names about it and have a character who they write terrible dialogue for. She's a good actress, I've heard. And the biggest problem in the show is not her. It's just the upfront attack, the obviously bad show. And we talk about it all week long. And
is it the no publicity is bad publicity thing?
Well, I think it's part of it. The other part of it too is I bring my experience back from going to college and seeing political correctness, and I talk about it 30 years ago, which is still kind of crazy when I think about it. But when they used these tactics before, it was to devalue you as a person, so that if you had a differing opinion, your opinion automatically was just, well, we don't have to listen to you because you're an ist, you're a faux, you're misogynist. Or they played the intersectional feminism game where, well, you are a tall, heterosexual, white, Judeo-Christian male, blah. I mean, and they listed off all of these superficial qualities that nullified my free will and my ability to think for myself. And it's really weird to see corporate structures using this as a marketing plan, not just for Star Wars. I mean, where else have we seen this? We've seen this for Terminator Dark Fate. We've seen it for, Star Trek Star Wars. We've seen it for Ghostbusters. We're seeing it with $1 billion fantasy franchise, The Lord of the Rings. It's just I don't know how to connect all these dots, except that I think they're starting to realize it's not making them any money. And maybe that's been the plan all along, is it's not about the money, it's something else. Notice my pregnant pause.
So I've heard about the.
I can't talk about it, I'll lose my channel. So I don't know. I mean, I don't want to sound like Alex Jones, but here we are. If anybody's got a better idea, tell me. Tell me, I'll listen. Go ahead, Zaxx.
Well, for Kenobi, I heard about the original script, and I don't know if that was based on the novel or not because I didn't read it, but it actually sounds intriguing, and it's more of a Western where Kenobi's trying to keep these two sides from going into rebellion against each other, the Tusken Raiders and moisture farmers, and trying to protect Luke at the same time without having anyone know he's a Jedi. Like, that's fun. That's a Western. Instead, we get this, which is like, I don't know what this is. It's just bad. I don't like. How can you look at those two scripts and say this? We'll go with this one. Come on.
Yeah. I mean, I dropped that video today, and you guys, a lot of you in chat were there for my premiere. I had almost 60 people at a premiere, and
wow.
I'm a small and up and coming channel. You all honored me. George Molo, George the Giant Slayer, showed up and kicked a big super chat in, and we have a great fandom and great fellowship. I really look forward to meeting George in person in the next couple of days and talking about, can we do some stuff together? But people want Lord of the Rings. They would love to see somebody respectfully craft an adaptation of a lot of the unfinished tales, of even just using the appendices. And I don't know, if you gave it to Peter Jackson, would we have a better product? Yes. But the question comes down to is how much studio interference is there? We've looked at how many producers there are on the show. I don't know who made the decision to bring the writer of Star Trek Discovery, a writer from Hawaii Five-0, a writer of Toy Story 4 in to write your episodes of Tolkien. But here we are, and somebody just popped in. Well, look who we have here.
Hello.
Purple Valkyrie. What are you doing?
You're awake.
How's it going?
Hello, guys. Hello.
She's dying of heat stroke.
No, she's got AC.
I do. AC is amazing. I can see why you guys love it so much.
Yeah. No, you did not have to come on. Thank you very much, Purple Valkyrie. We were just gonna, you've probably heard us a little bit. Chat, say hello to Purple Valkyrie. She is on Texas time. So if she sounds a little weird, she's probably jet lagged. She's a real trooper. Purple, thanks for being on the show.
I'm a little groggy, but no, you guys are doing incredibly well. Great to see you as always. Hello, Mike. Great to see you.
Hello.
Hey there.
Hey, Purple.
So,
how does it feel to be closer to freedom?
I think I'm staying. You know, I don't think I'm going to go back.
Yeah, I told her to get a cactus costume and just pretend she's a cactus when customs comes through.
Is anybody going to take her to the shooting range while she's in Texas?
She is going to be doing some things. YouTube doesn't like us to talk about those things on air in the details, but that's okay. But she may be doing some things that are fully legal and allowed by someone who is visiting the United States from the UK. So we'll just say that. Yeah.
Well, I was talking about a movie.
Oh, yeah.
Shooting range, making a movie.
Yeah. Let it go. Yeah. So, Purple, what are you looking forward to most? And I'm going to jump off of this. What are you looking forward to most about the upcoming Dallas Fan Expo? And hail everybody. We have 40 people in chat.
Yeah, it's great to see everybody. Hey there. Yeah, Fusted said I'm overwhelmed with freedom. He's not wrong.
Yeah.
I think it's just meeting up with everybody. You know, it's been so long. Everybody, you know, what we've gone through over the past couple of years, everybody's been locked down, and we've had a couple of these meetups, and the one thing that I've taken away from all of them is everybody has just had a fantastic time getting to see each other in person, and I'm really excited to get to meet as many people as I can, and hearing more and more people are going, so this is a fantastic event.
I would agree. And we've got a $2 super chat from Punkwaddle. You shouldn't have, brother. He says, this weekend we'll all be living on Texas time. Hail to you, brother. Punkwaddle is going to be at the Fan Expo as well. It's great to see you. And the chat jumped on me, Zaxx. All right, there we go. Thunder Sensei 150 for $4.99 says, Purple, my love. I'll repeat this all weekend. Hydrate. Don't die. Hydrate. Yes, we should. I may have told her that. The importance of drinking way too much water because it is very dry.
And I promise I've got a great big American-sized cup of ice water next to me at the moment. And yes, I will be carrying bottles of water.
Awesome. Is there anybody else that you wanted to call out in chat real quick?
I just want to call out you guys. I know you didn't have to do the show today, but I'm really, really glad that you did. You guys are absolutely killing it today. And congratulations on the show earlier. Well done.
Oh, the video I put out. Yeah, well, that's thanks to this team. And then I did a lot of editing, let's be honest. But I got blown away. I think we're about to cross 500 views on my video I dropped this morning, and that's a lot to me. I'm a channel with 2,500 subscribers. I have videos that have blown up, but it's nice to see something take off. And this was a longer form video. This was almost 45 minutes, which is something they tell you not to do, but there was a reason why. And I'm proud of it, and I'm proud of everybody here. That the work that we do and the quality of content that we make. So, and I can't wait to collaborate with other people as well. It was weird. Oh my God, I just saw that.
Yeah, but I want to say something first, because to call what you do editing isn't really fair, because you don't just edit. Like when you put out these videos like the one you did today, it's an active creation. You're not just taking from something else and putting pieces together. It's more than editing, dude. It really is.
Thank you.
It's true, yes. Salty puts his absolute heart and soul into everything he makes, not just to do with the channel, but to do with Phenomenal as well. And he really, really does care.
I'm not good at taking compliments, but I will take these. So you guys are my peers, you're my colleagues, and that means a lot to me. So I try. I really do. And thank you for saying that. I appreciate it. I hope you guys in chat feel that way. I make them for you. When I started this channel, what I said was what I wanted to do is make the kind of content I wanted to see. And I'm glad it resonates with people. So thank you guys very much. Lyle Hammock, thank you. I am humbled, brother. This is a $50 super chat. Lyle says the elitist mindset of Hollywood and politicians has always existed. They just feel emboldened in their arrogance and their hatred for the common people. It's why they are trying to get us so-called undesirables out of our spaces, and it's cut off. Do you have that, Zaxx?
Out of our spaces, it is despicable hail.
It is despicable. And evil exists. Just gonna say that. Hail to you, Lyle Hammock. This fellowship, good people here. If evil exists, that means good has to exist as well.
Mm-hmm.
And be the leader. Be the brave person that you hope someone else will be. Just try it.
Yeah.
Because if 1 in 100 people speak up, if 1 in 1,000 people speak up and do the right thing, that's how things change. It's not through mostly peaceful, fiery protests. It's through being a good person. Go ahead, Purple. Sorry.
Absolutely. What's the saying? Be the change you want to see. Absolutely, yeah. And that's why it's so important and why we encourage people. If you think about, wanting to have a channel, do it. We need as many voices as we can. It doesn't matter if you think that nobody's going to listen. There will always be somebody out there listening to what you have to say.
I absolutely agree
Well
with
said.
that. And
Yep.
yeah. And Mike, I mean, what's your perspective on that? I mean, this is not a political channel. I don't talk about it very much. In this case, I blame Zaxx like I normally do for everything.
Sure.
Because usually it is his fault.
This one's my fault.
But I mean, have you been feeling it maybe in the last couple of weeks that maybe things just feel weird? And we don't have to go down that road too far. I mean, I don't know. You're in California, so you're like in weird central.
Oh, yeah. Well, my little hub is actually pretty much red. I'm in a red area of California, luckily. But yeah, it is. It's like you're waiting. Something's going to happen. That shoe's falling, and you're just waiting to see what's happening. And
yeah,
I was watching a video someone posted on Twitter about a farmer who was saying don't believe all this. It's going to get worse. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's just so many things are just, they're just guys.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you can see it coming,
hoard
try
your
and
money.
Do something. Yep. Be your own rescue party in a lot of ways.
And it's what
psychically, entertainment wise, food wise, all those things. This is not a prepper channel, although I could have some very interesting discussions on that. But we can all feel something. Purple and I talk about it a lot. About you can see it, you can feel it. And I've been wondering, is that part of the reason they've been phoning in we can't even call it entertainment anymore, can we? What we're getting from Marvel, I mean, where it just seems to be so focused on things that kind of blow my mind that a children's company would be focusing on, and it's not like I'm some uber right-wing, something. That's not it at all. I'm actually a classical liberal, like Thomas Jefferson.
Mm-hmm.
That's my belief system. But it really makes you wonder, did they know that they could just phone it in because maybe some of the things were going to happen? I'm just going to throw that out there and walk away from it and pretend I didn't say it.
Salty.
Go ahead.
You can't avoid it. You can't avoid this compliment from Squeaka Mouse.
Squeaka, you're the best. For those of you who don't know, and this is an interesting piece of trivia, Squeaka has one of the most incredible reading voices, sultry reading voices next to Purple Valkyrie.
Yes, she does.
I'm not putting them in competition at all. I don't want either one of these women to hit me at all. But Squeaka, it's true. Okay, well, I'm open to that. That's all I'm going to say. Damn it, Purple. I gotta pretend that I'm all respectable, you vixen. Squeaka, damn it, what was I talking? Squeaka, damn it.
Something about a reading voice.
Yeah, that's what it is. Squeaka does this cool bit on Snowdub's channel where it is I believe it's a Korean woman who is making a chocolate cake in a very revealing apron. We'll just say that. And it is Squeaka that voices that very seductive reading of a recipe. So she is a fantastic creator all on her own. She is a bourbon drinking girl, and I'm proud to call you friend, and thank you for being a member of my channel and for being in our chats every night for $10. She said, it's not just editing. Salty has an eloquence that demands an audience. Wow.
Hear, hear.
Thank you.
Well said.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's true.
I have such a hard time taking compliments, but I'll take them. So I just have to stop and not go, but, you know. Squeaka, hail to you. Thank you so much. And thanks to everybody who's been in this fandom. We have Snortapupus Q Burr, a very good friend of Purple Valkyrie. We have Shield Wall of Dragons. Look at just so many amazing people in the chat tonight. We also, I think...
Yes, we've got Dave Bob, who's going to be there on Thursday. Can't wait to see him.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. Son of Jockster is here too. Absolutely. So yeah, there was an article I wanted to cover in Purple. If you are tired, I don't want to throw you off the stream. I don't want to throw anybody off the stream. Mike, if you need to keep cleaning out your garage, I just wanted to bring some people in. This was going to be an in and out show. So if you all need to go, just go ahead and say so. But I wanted to go back to the article, which I now can't find. So yeah, I'm not going to turn this. My channel is not going to become the Lord of the Rings channel. It's going to become the pop-up on the internet channel, apparently. But this was really weird to me. And this is Shill Media doing what Shill Media does, where they're reporting that J.A. Bayona, whose claim to fame, if I am not mistaken, is making one of the worst performing Jurassic World movies to date. I believe it was the one before this one. Is that right, Purple Valkyrie? Is that the one that J.A. Bayona did?
Pretty much, yes. And
yeah.
This film, it's a bit of an anomaly, because if you think of the Jurassic Park franchise, you think really they can't go wrong with it. All they have to do is have dinosaurs in their Jurassic Park film. You'd think it would tick all the boxes, but apparently they didn't want that.
Yeah, and Squeaka says to you, Purple Valkyrie, I am so sad I won't get to see you, but I will have to come. She will have to come to the UK. Well, hail for that.
Absolutely.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine what a force of nature that would be? Hail to Nathan, a man of Manethrin. And he says, I am a great MC for our culture. Does that mean bullet catcher? Thank you, Nathan. No, I'm teasing, of course. So Bayona is, of course, shilling for Amazon because they gave him, I think, 4 episodes to direct. And, he did direct the last Jurassic World film, which I haven't seen, no interest to see. I'm not going to see the other one. If you enjoy it, I like A Trouble Green, Alasia, she loved that movie, and I'm not going to shame anybody for that. I love dinosaurs. I love dinosaur movies. Just, I don't know, this franchise isn't necessarily for me. But what they're doing now, and what the new narrative around the Rings of Power, showrunner J.D. Payne told Empire that people should, quote, keep the budget in context, unquote. What does that mean? Adding that the Rings of Power season 1 is actually more akin to an 8-hour movie. Okay, I am really confused now, guys. I thought that they were making something that was not going to be like the Peter Jackson film, like the Peter Jackson movie. It was going to be a brand new, grittier, more accessible and relatable Middle Earth. J.D. Payne goes on and says, this is the length of all 3 Marvel films done on schedule of 2 for the budget of 1. Look at it in the context of what's actually being produced, and you could say it's a bargain.
So at the same time, they're saying that it's not going to be good till season 3, right? So they're making a trilogy of 8-hour movies, and the 3rd one might be good, is what they're telling us. That's their marketing strategy.
They spent $465 million to produce 1 season of television. 465 divided by 4 is, somebody good at math. I don't know. 870, like 70, no, 60, like 60 million an episode. Does that sound about right?
Lyle's leaving. We got a super chat from him here.
Oh, sorry. I'm over here pontificating, and I can't find my own live stream tag. Oh, Lyle. Okay. Sorry. I have got chat bouncing all over on me, guys.
I can read it.
Okay, go ahead. Take Lyle. Lyle, hail to you, brother. Go ahead.
Lyle Hammock and all the hammocks. Little Hammock, Mama Hammock. I have to head out. I was hoping to meet you in Purple in Dallas, but I can't get away from work. Hope you enjoy your stay in the U.S. Purple Hail.
Thank
Oh,
you.
Lyle, I can't wait. I can't wait to hang out with you, with so many people that are channel members. You and I have traded a lot of emails, and you have been a huge supporter of my channel before I got monetized. I really appreciate it of that. Go ahead, Zaxx.
Harley Dave did our math for us.
Oh, sorry, I meant 8 because I'm so bad at math I don't even know what the numbers are called. So we could split that in half. So that would be what, about 58 million an episode?
Yeah. Ish. Yeah.
58 million seems like a lot of money. And let me tell you why. You remember the abomination that was Wheel of Time? That whole season, including building a studio in Eastern Europe, cost $80 million. So they're telling me that 60 million and change per an episode wasn't enough money.
Lower your expectations, Salty. Yes.
And that's where I was going with this, you guys. Honestly, are they really lowering the expectations even more? I mean, JD Payne's statement that this is the length of 3 Marvel movies done on the schedule of 2 for the budget of 1. You have to look at it in context of what's actually being produced, and you could say it's a bargain. So I'm hearing that his Lord of the Rings is going to look like a bargain-made show, which we all kind of, I think, responded to last week. I don't know. They shouldn't let these people talk, you guys. Mike, what's your take on this? I don't think we've talked about Lord of the Rings in months, Mike.
Could you
where are you at with this?
Can you scroll up back up to the top a little bit? There's something I wanted to point out. Something that occurred to me. So right there. So when they're saying that it's unlike any other, it's not really like a show. It's its new thing, and then it says it's actually more akin to an 8-hour movie. The only the major red flag that I see there is that the episodes aren't going to have an end to each episode. It's not going to have like a little cliffhanger or anything. It's literally just going to stop, and then you have to wait till the next episode. Like there's nothing that keep you wanting to go back because it's just like, and so we're going to walk over to this, and then the credits roll, and you're like, well, what happened next?
And there's how many? 22 brand new characters that we have that have no connection to Tolkien that were entirely created by Payne and McKay. And then, of course, the characters that were referenced within the appendices, we saw what they did to Gladriel.
Yeah.
And then we've got Celebrimbor. We've got the elves who look like they should be extras in a bad high school version of Gladiator, or they're cosplaying from Skyrim with their heavy plate paltroons. And it's just...
Well, the elves in Shannara were better.
Oh, I agree. 100%. Yeah. You are absolutely spot on that. But this is the crazy thing about this. So director J.A. Bayona, again, who made the failure that was the last Jurassic World movie, is quoted as saying that The Rings of Power should not even be thought of as a television show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would imagine there's quite a lot of Tolkien fans out there who don't want to think of it as a TV show or anything in particular. Don't really want to think it exists.
Purple, I mean, you and I have been covering this for so long. It just, every week is a fresh new hell. It's every week. They literally smear feces all over everything that they can and then tell you, why don't you like it? And
if you don't like it,
opening up his mouth, you're a bigot.
If you don't like it, they point to this and say, you just don't understand. We're so artistic. You're not able to keep up. You're not able to understand our brilliance here. It's not even a real TV show. It's something more.
The other thing is one season of the original Rings of Power was supposed to have been 25 episodes. They made 8. So, but Bayona goes on to say that the Rings of Power should not even be thought of as a television show because it's a new groundbreaking piece of new entertainment. Quote, The Rings of Power is not television. It's a new form we're creating here. So, what the hell does that mean? Zaxx, what the hell does that mean? Purple, what does this mean?
What
the hell is he talking about?
What are we gonna watch it on? And what is it?
I
Like,
don't know. Is this in the re-education camps when they're telling me how I need to be like commie and I'm being tortured? I gotta watch this? Is that what they're gonna do?
Like Clockwork Orange, yes.
yeah, it's not a television show. It's and I'm just looking into the Auckland fallout of the studio move, and these people with their virtue signals, they ruined so many lives in New Zealand with their bait and switch with the studios that it's unbelievable, and that they're going to come out and virtue signal to us now.
Yeah. I mean, but again, I mean, these are the same people. It's the same industry that has no problem thanking a paramilitary force that runs camps where you concentrate. No big deal. This article goes on. I can't believe what I'm reading here. I'm going to reread this again. Quote, "The Rings of Power is not television.
No.
It's a new form we're creating here." Again, this is J.A. Bayona, director of, I believe, 4 episodes of season 1. The Rings of Power's other showrunner, Patrick McKay, said the 5 seasons of The Rings of Power represent a 50-hour movie. What the hell are they talking about? I mean, what the hell are they talking about? All 5 seasons are already mapped out. Yeah, sure. Yeah, right. I believe that. And they already know what the final shot will be. Well, hopefully, I'm not going to say that. I'm going to lose my channel. So, quote, this is McKay says, "We didn't want to do the TV version of The Lord of the Rings. We wanted to do a story in Middle-earth that deserves its own space on the shelf, alongside the novels and the films." I am so confused. I am so effing confused by this. What does this mean? We didn't want to do the TV version of The Lord of the Rings. We wanted to do a story in Middle-earth that deserves its own space on the shelf alongside the novels and the films. So that tells me this has nothing to do with Tolkien. This is Tolkien adjacent. Discuss. What are they doing?
This is Tolkien light, but they want you to pretend, and they are going to keep telling you that this is on par with the books, this is on par with the films, and ultimately what they are trying to do is use this show to eclipse what's gone before it. And we've seen this with other IPs and other franchises. And you were talking about before, who is this for? It's for this mythical audience that they are always chasing, this consume, move on to the next thing audience. It's not for the fans. It's not for the people who have read the books or grown up loving Tolkien.
What's your take on this, Mike? I mean,
Consume,
is this just typical California Hollywood bullshit stuff? Is that what this
consume content, don't ask questions. Wait till next content. But the other thing I wanted to say is, again, if you're watching this and you say, you know what, the pacing is wrong, the editing is wrong, their comeback is, well, you just don't understand. It's not an individual episode. It's 50-hour long movie. You can't watch it as an episode, so you can't do your review. When you put out your review, you say, oh man, the editing is so bad, pacing is so completely screwed up. No, you're just wrong, because look, you can't look at it as an episode. It is an 8-hour first season, 50-hour long season. You just don't get it. You guys are dumb.
This is gonna suck worse than I thought.
And
it's just like, why else would you pull stuff like this?
And as far as being on a space on my shelf, let me just be very clear. The only space it would have if it came into my house is in the waste bin.
Punkwaddle says, "What does this even mean? This sounds like the 20-somethings that want to change the world and make it better by doing what they like and not having to pay attention to the world around them." Punkwaddle, amen to that. I literally, I don't understand this. Here's the thing. It is a television show. It is on a streaming platform that streams to television. You can come up and pretend that you're sitting there and smoking your, with your black turtleneck and your beret, and that you're all artsy and somehow, and you're so hard and cutting edge. But Payne and McKay, dude, you guys.
This reads like Bill Cosby saying this isn't happening to you.
Well, yeah. Who are they fooling with this? I mean, are they fooling other people in Hollywood?
Themselves.
Because it sure as hell isn't working on us. Okay, fair. Yeah.
Yeah. It's one of those things where they continually get out front of this show that if it was any good, they would just give us a clip of. But instead, it's article after article after article. Not even an on-video interview. It's article where you can't ask a follow-up. Like, what do you mean it's not a show? Like,
well, the crazy thing is that we keep hearing about how much love they have for Tolkien, and they flew everybody out that were Tolkien fan sites, right? And then told them the only thing you can say is that Payne and McKay love the show so much, and that it's in good hands, and we can't tell you why. And we're not going to revisit things that we've talked about before, but to put it into context, to then say this, there's literally nothing. I mean, why don't they tell us we're so happy to show you Gladriel, and this is why you should like the new Gladriel. This is why you should be so excited about the new elves. We're getting none of that. We're getting told how Lenny Henry was the only black person to ever be in a fantasy movie.
Yep.
And watch my video today. I mean, those are just like 4 people that came to the top of my head. Surprise. This may be a huge shock to Hollywood, but there were people of other races who have been in movies and television going back to the silent days that weren't tokenized. And I think what we're seeing now is a giant step back socially, and they don't even see it. Let me get to this super chat from Daniel for $5 says, I've been waiting my whole life to find new authors on par with Tolkien. This is a moment to celebrate. We finally found some who are as good as him. It's true. Payne and McKay were the only ones who could write the novel that Tolkien couldn't write. Hail to you, Daniel. I always appreciate your sarcasm, brother. That's a really good one. But yeah, did I miss something, Zaxx?
Another one.
Jumped off the screen.
Taker.
Okay, Taker 610. Thank you for $5 says, in case Purple was wondering, we outside the British Isles call that blinding yellow ball in the sky.
That's good.
The sun.
I like that.
Yeah, it's definitely a feature here. I stepped outside and thought I was on Tatooine. I thought, God damn it.
Yeah. I mean, the stormtroopers are in Austin. That's why you don't see them in Dallas. Let's be honest.
If you're seeing Purple, if you're seeing 2 suns, drink more water.
Yeah. I tried to warn her. I was like, dude, it's hot down here. But yeah. But I'm going to wrap this one up. Payne, of course. JD Payne says, we had to ensure that we were bringing something fresh to Tolkien and expanding the map.
Yes.
We were not interested in a sequel or a prequel or a rehash or nostalgia. It had to stand on its own 2 feet as something that felt faithful, but was also its own thing. What does that sound like to you? That sounds like another turning of the wheel in the Wheel of Time. Sounds like this isn't the Halo that you know. This is an alternate timeline of Halo. This, I think, is the most revealing statement that we've ever gotten, and the most full admission from these showrunners that, again, they weren't interested in a sequel. They weren't interested in continuing on into the Third Age. Fine. They weren't interested in a prequel. Well, that's the funny thing about being in a Second Age, isn't it? It's kind of the history of what comes before the Lord of the Rings films, as well as The Hobbit. So apparently a rehash is being true to the source material. They didn't want to do that. And nostalgia apparently means that, again, you are true to the source material. So where does that leave us, guys? I mean, I'm not trying to sensationalize this. I read a statement like this, and I'm like, you're lying, in my opinion. You're lying to me, and you're lying to yourself. Or maybe you're not, and maybe this has been your whole job, like I have been saying in my own videos, since we found out that 2 people who had never even run a Kentucky Fried Chicken were given Tolkien. Here we are. To me, I can say in my opinion, the only reason Payne and McKay were given Tolkien is to do exactly what they're doing, which is to deconstruct and destroy it and to try and destroy our fandom. And I'm going to treat them as such going forward. Is that unfair? Purple Valkyrie, Mike's, and Zaxx. I'm calling this. This is not Tolkien. This is not Lord of the Rings.
No, not at all. I'm getting to the point where I think that these two couldn't run a bath, let alone run a show. But they are fooling themselves, and they are desperately trying to, if not fool the audience, then bring the audience on their side. You've talked about how they're saying, we've got these great new characters. Don't tell us, show us. Why should we care about these new characters? Why are they so important? What is so important about Theo? Why do we need to know about him?
Well, because he looks like he's of Middle Eastern descent. That's all that matters, Purple. It's representation. Just like Princess Diza. She's of Middle Eastern descent too. Mm-hmm. That's all that matters. That's all you need to know, bigot. And if you don't like this show, it must be because of the ethnicity.
Hold on.
Which was the whole reason we were hired.
Corey, I'm going to stop you right there because they just said it's not a show. Right?
That's my bigotry coming out.
I know.
You're absolutely right. This new form of entertainment.
Yes.
This new form of entertainment. Which
it's going to be on my TV and it's a show, but we can't say that.
That's right. And you can't hold it up to show standards.
No.
Yeah, that's basically, you know what that reminds me of? It reminds me of gender, but I can't talk about that, can I? Like, we're going to pretend it's something else, right? But okay. It's not a TV show, Payne and McKay. Sure. I'm feeling dangerous tonight and a little saucy, so I'm crossing some boundaries I normally don't do.
Let's write the novel that Tolkien couldn't write. You guys?
Yeah.
Absolutely, yes. Correct the mistakes that he made in the past, yes.
I genuinely don't know what to do with this. Quote, showrunner McKay, we didn't want to do the we didn't want to do the TV version of The Lord of the Rings. We wanted to do a story in Middle-earth that deserves its own space on a shelf, like Elf on a Shelf, along with the novels and films. I don't understand. What is somebody in chat smarter than me, or is this just Hollywood speak? I don't
It's a Hollywood word salad. That's what this is.
Don't believe your lying eyes.
Yeah, well, that's true. Squeaka says they can't say why because that involves storytelling, which they are obviously in short supply of. Well, they can talk about they can do intersectional storytelling, which I jokingly say, all men are either stupid or evil or both, but it's also true, Matt Jones says, I detest McKay and Payne so much, and I've not seen a single episode. Matt, you're not wrong. I had some people in my comments section today saying, why would I give somebody 1 minute of my viewing time that hates me and they've never met me? Why do we do this? I mean, I walked away from Disney for that reason. I walked away from Star Wars. I've now walked away from Marvel. I am done. Amazon, I have it because I live in the middle of nowhere and I need things, otherwise I got to drive to Austin and I'd rather not do that. But in this case, I will watch this to cover it because, channel members want me to, much in the same way that I did Wheel of Time.
And that's what they want.
And I think we're all going to hear. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
That's what they want. Don't forget, they want the old fans to just give up and walk away. They don't want us to review it. They don't want us to talk about it. And I think Mike was talking about it earlier. This is a 58, however long episode. That's going to be a long film. Somebody out there will review this as one gigantic block. I'm not sure how we're going to review it, but somebody will do it in long form just to spite them.
Can
we get a fan edit?
3,000 years of history spread out over, I'm guessing 5 seasons, but I don't even think they thought about it that way. It's not Tolkien. It's not Tolkien. And we can stop pretending it is, which is essentially the video I put out today. We've got Stephen Ransom says, because the dark side is a thing and they are selling them. Yeah, it's true. It's true. let me see. There was one more thing that I wanted to bring up. What did I miss?
Matt.
I'm bringing that up. I like that.
Okay, go ahead.
Fad.
What does he say?
A fan edit would be less than 3 seconds long.
Exactly.
The end. That's good. That's pretty much it. That's what they should just have the end run through, because it's 5 seasons of television.
Yeah.
That's all that's on
Just
screen.
have J.R.R.
Honest about
Tolkien flash across the screen, and that's it. Yes.
Yeah. This is gonna be a short show tonight, Purple. I'd like if you got some rest, but you're more than welcome to stay. Anybody else needs to go, they can. I wanted to cover one more thing before we kind of bounce out and maybe let people know how to find us during the. Thank you, Paul Wolfley. Stop funding people that hate you. Where to find us? You're going to be in Dallas at the Fan Expo, and if you're not, we wish you were there. I'm not showing off. I haven't been to a con in 20 years. It's my first one, and I'm doing it because it's a 4-hour drive for me. So, somebody told me there's a crazy game come out called Starfield, and that I should check it out. It's from Bethesda. It's the next big Bethesda role-playing game, and that they're saying it could be the next Skyrim. Now, I watched some of the gameplay for this. It looked beautiful. What do you got, Purple? What are you laughing about?
The next Skyrim is going to be the next Skyrim game whenever they release the next version of it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess it could be worse, like Doom, or maybe they'll release the next Skyrim game on mobile, because everybody wants that, right?
I think they did.
Yeah.
Todd Howard likes to release Skyrim games.
He does, yes.
True.
Don't you guys have phones? I think was the quote, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. Yeah, the other part was they released Fallout games for mobile, and what was it, Fallout 76? Talk about a catastrophic failure. I loved Fallout 3. I did not really like Fallout New Vegas.
What?
Probably, thank you. I was waiting for somebody to call me a bigot and an incel. I didn't like it.
It was broken when it came out. It's
I
fine
didn't like
now.
it. Okay. Well, I didn't really like the story, and that's okay. But Fallout 4, I thought had some pretty good moments, but I just ended up spending a lot of time building sheds. And that's I was like, screw it. I can advance levels if I just build sheds and use cheat codes, and I got lazy doing that, trying to do architecture. And anyway, but this this whole Skyfield thing, I don't know. I'm an Xbox guy. Apparently, this is coming out for Xbox Series XS PC. It doesn't look like it's backward compatible to my Xbox One. And if it's not, that's too bad. I'm not buying another Xbox from these people. But yeah, the Starfield reveal has inspired an overwhelming amount of memes.
Oh, no.
And yeah, they're calling it a No Man's Skyrim.
Oh.
Wow.
Which... Yeah, No Man's
Lots of empty space then in that case. But if I remember correctly, they did in the 2000s have the rights to Star Trek, and this was an idea that he pitched back then. And this looks like this is what it's kind of evolved into, because that particular game or franchise didn't go anywhere, so they kind of kept hold of this kernel of an idea, and this is what it eventually became.
Yeah, the gameplay looked good. I mean, like anything else, they're probably running it on a top dev PC, with like a gajillion dollar, graphics card.
We're ready to start on your signal.
Interesting audio.
Yeah.
Sounds a lot like Star Trek, has a lot of the old
Mm-hmm.
original series stuff. Oh, look, a Pip-Boy.
Plotting jump course. Skybound has converged. We're looking good. Allocating auxiliary reactor power. System checks are green across the board.
I want to fly the Rocinante. That's what I want to do.
4, 3, 2, 1.
I'm having freelancer flashbacks right now.
Yeah. music's nice. It kind of sounds like the Hunger Games, but okay.
It's hard to express how.
Oh, there he
Whatever,
is.
dude. Don't care. Don't want to hear you. Don't want to hear you. Looks a lot like Fallout 3. Am I the only one noticing the color palette on
It
this?
looks a lot like everything.
Ooh, it's Robbie the Robot. Yeah, this looks like Fallout 3, maybe a little bit better graphics. Yeah, it looks like Fallout 3. I want to go to the vault. Yeah, this is Fallout 3. So I don't know. I mean, I just wanted to show this to people. I didn't know about it. I didn't know if other people knew about it, if anybody was excited about this. I mean, Bethesda doesn't have, a lot of goodwill from a lot of people, if we're honest about it. In my experience, they tend to rush things out the door that then require you to download 6 to 8 hours of patches, which may or may not work. I remember when I got Fallout 4 and I had to download it overnight, and then the download stopped, and I got home from work and I couldn't wait to play Fallout 4. And guess what? I couldn't, because I had to restart my freaking download and go back to the beginning of the line again, but whatever. Thunder Sensei 150 for 49 says, LOL, the best thing about Skyrim was the mods. Imagine hearing a dragon and a giant Thomas the Train engine breeze fire across the sky.
My favourite was
You're speaking Purple Valkyrie.
Yeah.
Say that one again, Purple. I'm
My
sorry.
favourite was the Macho Man Randy Savage dragon. Approved.
Oh my God, you guys are great.
I'm excited about this game. I do want to play it. So yeah, we'll see what it's going to be. You never know with Bethesda, but they've made enough good games that'll give them a shot. I didn't play 76, but most people didn't. So
yeah.
Does anybody?
I mean, I like Fallout 4. I do. It's just that it looks a lot like Fallout 4. I don't know. Maybe that's me. Maybe the stories are better. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, I was going to ask if anyone knows anything about Outrage about this game. I put a link in private chat. But Bethesda's Todd Howard, just like an hour ago, talks Starfield Outrage. So I don't know what that's all about.
Oh.
But this game does look interesting. I am a sucker for space games.
One thing I do know is that people were upset when it became an Xbox exclusive or PC exclusive. So there was, but I don't know if that's the outrage. But
yeah, I have no idea.
Yeah.
I did not see their live stream yesterday or the day before, whenever it was.
Mm-mm.
But I do have an Xbox Series X, so I am ready to go.
Yeah, I'll play it on PC. Or it'll be on Game Pass, right? So, give value.
I hate when I'm on mute. I was sitting here chasing the link down that you sent me, Mike. Let me.
Oh yeah, just to YouTube.
Windows open.
YouTube.
Yeah, I know. Let me pull it up. So
while we're doing this, I want to ask the chat, if you're going to Dallas to the con, give me a 1 in the chat. I'm just curious.
Yeah, we're very interested in seeing people, and I keep saying it. I mean, I'm a small and up and coming channel. I want to meet other people. I want to meet other small and up and coming channels. Please approach us. And of course, Purple Valkyrie is my bodyguard. She is a trained ninja, so don't get too close.
We don't bite often.
Often being the operative word. Yeah. Mike, did you proof this thing? Do you know where the clip is?
Ago, Bethesda Game Studios.
There
are others like resources. You're making upgrades to.
Go ahead, Mike.
I was going to answer your question. No, I just I just actually was searching for it to find out what it was about because you were talking about it, and I found this video.
Main
So I don't know.
cities in the game, and New Atlantis is easily the biggest city in the game and the biggest city we've ever built. And it's more quests, so it might be 20%.
Oh, look, you have
more than our
an
previous ones.
iWatch.
So
Wow.
if you say, and your mileage may vary. People generally don't straight line.
Yeah, I don't know. When I hear guys with a voice like that try and talk to me about gaming, it kind of kills my game Woody. I mean, just want to be honest. Yeah, for my RPG, I'd much rather have a woman or a very much more high testosterone gentleman telling me about my first person shooter game in space. So I don't know. I'm excited about this game. I would like for it to be good. The mechanics look oddly like a reskin of Fallout 4.
Is this a single?
Maybe I'm wrong.
Is this
about
single
that.
player?
I don't.
I think it is. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah, I imagine it
Yeah.
is. Yes, and
Yeah.
I don't know. I think a lot of people won. There isn't a lot of games coming out this year, which is why this has kind of grabbed people's attention.
Yeah.
And two, a lot of people, because they've been burnt before, they don't want to pre-order games anymore, and I'm one of them. If I was going to play this, I would wait at least probably 3 months for it to have been out
Yeah.
to get some reviews and to hear what people are saying about it, and as you said, to see how many patches it's going to need.
Yeah. Look at this. This looks just like a scene from Fallout 3. This is what troubles me, and I know it's Bethesda, and I know the engine they use, but I mean, okay, they've changed the gravity mechanics. I understand that. I mean, it's visually nice, but even this, again, I'm looking at Fallout 4. This looks like Fallout 4.
Yeah, you're not wrong, Salty. But if you do, like, Game Pass is $1 for 3 months, I think, to start with the Ultimate, and so you pay $1, you get to play the game. You know, it's not so bad.
I could do that.
Yeah.
No, I would do that on the PC.
Yeah.
I would.
Xbox too.
Yeah, it's just I guess maybe I hadn't factored in that, like the rest of us for the last couple of years with the lockdowns, that apparently things didn't get done or evolve or move forward. And of course, we're going to get some of the same mechanics and engine as we did before. But you guys, Purple Valkyrie needs to get some sleep. I need to finish packing. Mike needs to finish cleaning his garage. It's a true story. And Zaxx probably... Zaxx bought a really big kiddie pool for his kids.
I did.
And I'm not supposed to talk about it.
I did, yeah.
He misconstrued diameter for radius, and therefore ended up with something that he could very easily raise about 1,000 catfish in addition to having his children swim in. So maybe you want to take a dip in the pool.
I thought it was 15 feet in circumference, but it was 15 feet in diameter. So not the same thing at all, and way bigger than I thought it was going to be. But yeah, I wasn't going to take it apart after I put it together. So that's it. It's there now.
Lifestyles of YouTuber creatives. Yeah. It's true. He sent me a picture and I was like, dude, is that your backyard? It's like, yeah.
It
like,
used to be a backyard. Now it's a pool.
Now it's a fish pond. He's not doing it. We have to tell him. I mean, especially in this hard economy, raise catfish, make $1 million. Let's go around the horn. Well, first, what I want to do is I want to thank everybody in chat again. Thank you guys for showing up to my premiere today. I did it on short notice. Like it still blows my mind. I had 60 people hanging out and watching. Thank you guys a lot. It means a lot to me. Every view, every click, every comment, it means a lot. Thank you for being here in chat tonight. What we're probably going to be doing is a fair amount of impromptu live streams while we're at the con, and Purple and I and other people we run into, probably Max. There's a whole lot of people I intend to meet up with that I have never streamed with before, that we may do a jump on show, and we may hang out and talk. It may be on my channel, it may be on theirs. I'll put notices out, and of course we're gonna have a good time. I'm really looking forward to seeing the hobbits as individuals as well as maybe together. That's a big reason. That's one of the big draws for me to go to this con. But like Purple Valkyrie said, the main reason why I'm going to this is to meet you guys. I'm very pleasantly surprised I get to meet the one and only Purple Valkyrie, who was an inspiration for me to start a channel. I watched her long before I ever started mine. And she's a great creator. If you haven't subscribed to Purple Valkyrie, please do so. And Purple, let's go ahead and start with you. And we'll hopefully you can get some sleep. I don't even know what time it is for you. If you're still on UK time, it's probably 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, it would be 2:30 if we were on UK time. This is much more pleasant. This is a much more civilized time to be doing a stream.
Well, I agree. And there's that big yellow thing in the sky. Don't be afraid of it. Don't be afraid of it. Just wear a hat.
I was a little bit cautious. I was going to throw sticks and rocks at it because I wasn't sure what it was, but I'm sure it'll be fine. But thank you guys, and thank you for letting me jump on. You guys are absolutely killing it today. I was listening to you talk, and you guys had a brilliant discussion, and thank you to the chat as well.
Thanks for jumping on, Purple. You're awesome.
Always good to
Mike,
stream
what about
with
you?
You too.
Not doing a whole lot of anything. Monday nights I'm back to doing Asian cinema. So I did that before.
Talk about that a second.
Yeah.
Talk about that. Last time you were covering Korean television.
Sure,
movies,
I was making it exclusive to that.
Other
It
ones
was
too?
now I'm just
Okay.
we're doing anything to do with Asian culture. So it's anything from manga to anime to Korean TV, Japanese TV, Chinese dramas, all the things. So we talked about it on Zaxx's channel recently, where he did What's Good, and I talked about Who Rules the World. Go check out his video, and you'll see what I had to say about that. Stuff like that, and anything that maybe people are not up to speed on, we'll talk a little bit about it, and we'll always bring something different. Each of us will bring something the other person maybe doesn't know about, and do a little discussion on that. And that's Mondays at 5:30 Pacific, 8:30 Eastern. And
people can find you at OBG70.
Yes.
And you also have an astronomy channel. So
Yes.
you are a man of varied talents. You also stream with what's his name? Renaissance
Nerds. Yeah, we
Nerd.
do sci-fi and fantasy Saturdays on Saturday nights. We talk about different things. I don't know what we're doing this week, but I will find out sometime soon. And then, of course, the roundtable I'm sometimes on Sundays, which you've been on a couple times as well. So it's always fun to hang out. It's a very similar show to this one. We just talk about whatever's happening in pop culture, and I'll try to add some more shows this summer.
You
Yeah.
you guys did a deep dive on Vampire Hunter D on Monday. It was interesting.
Yeah. Speaking of, well, first of all, I should have acknowledged this at the beginning of the show. For those of you who do not know, Zaxx7 hit 1,000 subscribers when we were live on Sunday
Bravo.
on Alasia's channel. He vastly already exceeded the 4,000 required watch hours. And he is currently, I believe, dude, you just need to fill out the back end. You are already approved for AdSense. Is that right?
Yeah, AdSense went through quickly, and now I just have to wait for them to do their whatever the review is and however long that takes. So yeah.
Zaxx is doing the back end crazy stuff that YouTube makes you do. But now we all know Zaxx content is very signature. It's very unique. It really is. It's different than mine. I love it. But YouTube, they approved it, man. He's monetized. Zaxx is monetized.
We'll see.
It took 24 hours, and you just have to do the back end paperwork. You're gonna cruise through it, dude. It's like you're gonna be good. So I just want to say congratulations to Zaxx.
Harley Dave.
What's that?
Harley Dave.
Oh yeah.
Now we can unsubscribe with grace. Yeah, that's true. You can.
I agree. I know. You can stop pretending to like what he does.
Right.
You can stop thumbs up everything. No, Zaxx, you make great stuff. You really do. And you have taken the international cinema.
Yeah. Who knew?
By the horns, Yeah, but I wanted to say thank you to Zaxx. I wouldn't have the channel I do without Zaxx. Zaxx gave me a lot of good advice, and I listened to some of it, and I've learned to listen to all of it now. And I don't trust him with other things, but about my channel, listen to Zaxx. But I just want to say congratulations to you, Zaxx, and Mike. You'll be there. You'll be there before you know it too.
Yeah.
And
I just need to be less lazy. That's really all it is I'm just lazy. That's it.
But you're very talented.
I used to be the
really
guy
are.
that did a video a day, and you guys used to always point that out. But now it's a video, I don't know, every 3 or 4 months. My fault.
Whoa.
Oh my God, Daniel.
Wow.
Daniel.
Dude.
I'm speechless, you guys.
Holy crap.
I need a moment to compose myself. Sorry.
During that moment, I'm going to thank everyone in the chat for all your well wishes, and really, I could not have done this without you guys, and without Salty Purple. Mike was one of the first people to get me pushing to do any of this stuff, and you guys have supported me.
That is true.
Your talent's obvious.
And well, I don't know about talent, but luck. I'll take luck. That's
no, it's talent. Don't be bashful. It is talent.
It is. Yeah.
Everybody can see it.
We are very proud.
And you're a very handsome devil.
That's
really
true.
are.
I'm very good looking.
So.
Yeah.
And modest. Yeah.
Yeah, and modest. Yeah.
He's like he's a supermodel. Yeah, by Canadian standards, you're like Brad Pitt,
That's right.
You're like the Brad Pitt of Canada, dude, right?
Mm-hmm.
Daniel, thank you. Thank you very, very much. This is a $100 super chat. I am gobsmacked, as they say, where Purple lives. This donation is actually for Zaxx. All right, I don't like you anymore. No, this donation is actually, I'm just kidding. This donation is actually for Zaxx. So that means Salty is legally liable to hold on to it for Zaxx. And Zaxx is required to fly to Texas. I like your thinking, Daniel. Zaxx is required to fly to Texas at some point to receive it in person.
Mm.
I would love to have that.
I'd love to go to Texas.
At some point, we will all get together. Daniel, hail to you. Astonishing generosity. And this will go to Zaxx. It will. Thank you, Daniel. And thanks to everybody in chat. I'm Daniel, this is amazing. Lyle, you guys are amazing. Everybody, Squeaka, everybody, Taker610, Thunder Sensei, thank you guys so much. You don't make anything making videos on YouTube. You don't. You get like, what is it? Purple, we were talking about it. If you get 100,000 views on a video, you make like what, $5?
Yeah, I think it's $5 per 100,000 views.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I don't have one video. That's half of that. So why we work so hard and why I work so hard is to bring you something new and something different and something that's unique. And I get to work with great people like Zaxx and Mike and Max and Alasia and Purple Valkyrie. And it means a lot. It means a lot to get a super chat. And I still remember the very first one I got. And Daniel, I just want to say thank you very much. These are not the easiest economic times that we are all going to, and I think a lot of us face a lot of uncertainty. And I don't talk about these things on this channel, but we all know what's going on. So, Daniel, thank you very much. Thanks to everybody who's here tonight, and thank you for the view.
I think it's the appropriate time for an applause. You want an applause?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Is that coming through? No.
Wow, that's
not coming through.
No. Wow.
I got my
performance.
I got my stuff screwed up. I don't know.
Where's Cricket?
Wow. Okay, that works too.
Um,
Anyway, go ahead, Zaxx.
I just want to say I'm gonna have I do plan to still do my show on Thursday. I don't know what it's gonna look like or any of that stuff at this point because of like the Dallas stuff going on. But I'm gonna put something on.
That's a great show. It's a really great show. You have you truly have an international fan base who spends a lot of time keeping you very honest.
They do, yeah.
You pronounce things, and yeah, you're doing a lot of hard work there, Zaxx. God bless you. So yeah, hail to everybody in chat. You guys are absolutely fantastic. Daniel, again, thank you. This will go to Zaxx, and nothing would make me happier than taking Zaxx to Llano, to the barbecue place I know, and sitting down, eating a bunch of brisket, and sitting there with all the 12 different trophy buck mounts all over the place at a picnic table indoors, listening to Hank Williams Jr. And it's going to happen, Zaxx. And you're going to make that happen, Daniel. Everybody, I am keeping up Purple Valkyrie, who desperately needs to go to bed, and I really need to go pack. You all, thank you for a wonderful Tuesday. Thank you for making my premiere so great. Thank you for all the views. Thank you for being here tonight. Thank you for making chat so much fun, and thank you for being my friends. Zaxx and I talk about it a lot. You guys really make us want to work hard and produce quality content. So with that, unless anybody has anything to say before we go, I'm going to go ahead and play the outro. But I just want to say, for those of you who'll be in Dallas, don't be shy. Come up and say hey. And please tell us your screen names. If you tell me you're Tim, I probably won't know what that is. But if you tell me you're, Squeak Mouse or, Son of Jockster or Punkwad, I'll know what that is. Purple, did you have something to say before we go?
Yes, absolutely. Just to chime in with what you were saying, Thunder Sensei said, any details, if you guys are following any of us on Twitter, just send us a message or you just contact us and we will get back to you if you want to meet up and hang out.
Yes.
We would love to meet you.
Yes. Yeah, we will absolutely do that. And let me get to this. This is from Tatsu Sama. This is for 5 Swiss francs. I knew it was for Swiss francs. For 5 Swiss francs, I get a heart.
Ooh.
Thank you. That is really kind. And that is real money. That is real money, Swiss francs. So hail to you, Tatsusama. It means a lot. Once I think I'm going to get to Dallas, and then I'm going to go ahead and look at the schedule because Maxfield Von Priestley pointed it out last night. The schedule has changed a lot, and there are creators who are no longer on the schedule, and I have never seen this many people just magically disappear off of a
Diversified.
committed. Yeah, and a heck of a lot more alternative lifestyle panels instead of panels about fandom. We'll just put that on it. So yeah, we will let you know where we are. If you're on social media, tag Purple and I and any Max, Alasia. Let us know where you're going and where you're going to be too. We can't wait to meet you. I think tomorrow I'm going to be up there tomorrow. Purple's going to be there. Max comes in tomorrow. We're all going to be hanging out probably. And yeah, if you're hanging out, let us know. We could go out and get dinner, get a drink, hang out. I'm going to bring a couple board games, some bourbon, hang out, maybe use the rooftop pool at the hotel. I don't know. I'm a wild man. You guys are absolutely fantastic. I'm going to go ahead. Let's say goodnight, Gracie. I'm going to play us on the outro. You all have a great rest of your week. You will be seeing us on live streams on this and other channels. Take care, everybody.
Take care.
Have a good night.
Good night.
As ever, this is Salty Texas C. I am Corey DB. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you've seen and heard, please hit that thumbs up button. If you haven't subscribed, I'd love to have you on board. That way you know, and we have things like live streams, which we are going to be doing every Tuesday evening. Take care. I hope you're having a great 2022.